Hi guys, I hope you were able to participate and watch our VBS videos this week. I know that Joshua and Elijah and I had a lot of fun doing that and making our crafts and singing our songs, and so I hope you were able to do that. If you were not, there's still time. You can still do it. Message us on the church or get a hold of me through email, Carrie@firstchristian.church, and that's Carrie is Carrie at 1stchristian.church. And I can still get you the links for that, or if you're a couple days behind, those are still available to watch. So I hope that you can still do that. And send me any pictures or anything. Maybe just take some pictures of your crafts that you made so that I can see what you guys have been doing this past week. We're going to start our lesson today with prayer time. And there are 4 types of prayers that we talk about for kids' church lessons. And they are I love you prayers. They are thank you prayers, I'm sorry prayers, and please prayers. And today we're going to practice saying some I'm sorry prayers. So God, we know the good news is that Jesus can forgive us for the bad things that we have done. So we just need to ask him to forgive us. So that's when we tell God that we are sorry for the bad things that we have done. And prayer, like I kind of said before, is just talking to God, telling him what you want to tell him, listening to him when he talks back to you. If you listen to our VBS lessons, one day was about that. So let's think about something that you've done. Maybe it was a bad choice this week, or something that was wrong that you got in trouble for, or that you just know was not the right thing to do. And let's pray to God right now and tell him that we're sorry for those things. Dear Jesus, I just want to say that I'm sorry for sometimes making bad choices. I know that sometimes I get angry when I shouldn't, and please help me to not do that anymore, and I'm really sorry about that. And we love you, Jesus. Amen. Amen. So if you have time to do your I'm sorry prayers, then you can pause the video, and then we'll continue on with our lesson. Okay, so I hope you have said your I'm sorry prayers, and as soon as you say that, you ask God to forgive you. You are forgiven of that thing now, so that's awesome. We are starting over, brand new clean slate. There's a couple of questions we're going to start off our lesson with. Now I know it's been a couple of weeks since we had a regular kids church lesson, since last week was just the first VBS day. But what word, we learned this 2 and maybe also 3 weeks ago, what word means that God is in control over everything? It's kind of a big word. It starts with an S. God is in control over everything. We learned about this when we were talking about Job, and last week we were talking about Abram. The word was sovereign. Sovereign means God is in control of everything. Okay, now, in the Bible, we read out of the Bible every week. We know that the Bible is God's word to us, and it is true. There is some bad news in the Bible. What is the bad news that we learn from the Bible? The bad news is that we all have sinned. We've all done bad things in our lives, and every single person on this earth has sinned in some way. And probably, if you're like me, you sin multiple times a day, right? We're all sinners. But that's the bad news. The sin separates us from God, as Matt said in the VBS videos too. But we have a way that we can get back to God, and that's the good news that we learn from the Bible. So what is the good news that we learn in the Bible? The best news. That is that Jesus saves sinners. So Jesus saves us, saves you, saves me, saves everyone who chooses to believe in him and have faith in him. He saves us. So that's the good news. We can go back to God. We can live with God in heaven forever someday if we choose Jesus. All right. Oh, one more question. What word means, another word that we learned quite a while ago, what word means that God cannot sin and he hates all sin? God cannot sin and he hates all sin. That is that God is holy. Holy is that word. All right, so not last week, but the week before last, when I was last with you, we learned about a guy named Abram, and later on in the Bible, God changes his name to Abraham, right? But God told Abram to do something. Do you remember what God told Abram to do? He told him to take all his stuff and move to a place where Abram had never been before. It was far away, and he told him to move. And who was he supposed to take with him? Who or what? There's things and people. Okay, he was supposed to take his wife, Sarai. So Abram, his wife, Sarai, his nephew. Do you remember his name? His nephew's name was Lot, and we're going to talk a lot more about Lot today in today's lesson. And he also had lots of animals, and he had servants. He took everything with him and moved away. And God made promises to Abram. If you do this, I promise I will. Made 3 promises. He would make Abram and Abram's family into a great nation. He would make Abram's name great, so everyone would know who he was. He's going to be a famous guy. And he said, Abram, you will be a blessing to other people. So those are 3 promises that God made to Abram too. So Abram believed, trusted in Jesus, in God, had faith in him, and obeyed. Abram did what God told him, even though it was a little bit scary because he didn't know where he was going. He didn't exactly know what was going to happen, but he trusted that God was in control. He was sovereign, and he was going to take care of him. And God always takes care of us and keeps his promises. So today's lesson is still some more about Abram, and this time Lot, mostly about Abram and his nephew Lot. And it's about trusting God to help us make good choices. Now, before we get started with that lesson, I need you to help me make a choice. I got 2 gifts, and I need to choose which one is better. Which one is better? Which one should I open? And which one do you think is the better gift? This one's nice. It's got flowers, some pink paper, and this one, I don't know, it looks like an old lunch bag. Like, you know, I know, like it's summer break now. What if you left this lunch bag in your locker this entire time? I mean, I wouldn't even want to hold it this close to me or smell it. This one does not look very nice. So I'm going to choose to open this gift right here and see what is inside. So we got some tissue paper, throw that out, and more. Oh, let's hurry up and see what's inside. Oh my gosh. Well, this is very disappointing. There's nothing in it. It's just an empty bag. Well, a bag with some tissue paper. Man, that was not a very good choice, was it? No, sometimes things seem like a good choice and they look really nice and pretty, but they're not always a good choice, are they? So that's why we have to listen to God and have him to help us make good choices, because God knows everything and he already knew what was inside this bag. And so if I would have probably prayed to God and listened or thought about it, used my brain, I could have made a better choice, but I didn't make a very good choice today. All right. Oh, do you want to see what's in the other bag? Let's see what's in the other bag, just in case. It's not smelling bad, so that's good. Hey! There's some marshmallows in this bag. I love marshmallows. I've heard that some of you guys love marshmallows too. So I had some marshmallows. Man, that sounds like a yummy snack. It's definitely better than nothing, right? At least we could say marshmallows is better than nothing. Unless I guess you don't like marshmallows. Maybe you'd rather have nothing. But either way, I think this is a better gift. I think probably most of you guys would think this is a better treat than nothing. So we're going to go with that. So today's lesson, like I said, is about making wise choices. And just because something looks like it would be the better choice does not mean that it actually is. And that is what happened to Lot in our lesson today. So we are going to read from the Bible in Genesis chapter 13, verse 5 and 6. Okay, listen carefully because I'm going to ask you some questions. Chapter 13, verse 5 and 6 says, "Now Lot, who was moving around with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together." Okay, so it might have been a little tricky because it didn't talk a lot about Abram, but it did talk about Lot. And they both had, Abram and Lot, they both had some of the same things. What kinds of things did they have? Let's read again in case we weren't sure. Lot, who was moving around with Abram, also had, so that means Abram had it and Lot had it, flocks and herds and tents. And this one had flocks and herds and tents. They both had lots of animals, lots of farm animals, and tents and servants and a whole bunch of things. Okay, and it says that the land could not support them while they stayed together. And their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. So they had so many animals and stuff together between the two of them that there was not enough room for them in the land that they were in. There was not enough water for all of those animals. There was not enough grass for all of those animals. So after a while, even all the good grass was eaten and there wasn't enough for them or the animals to drink. Pretty soon, Abram's servants started fighting against Lot's servants. They started arguing, hey, Abram's animals need to eat over here. Hey, no, Lot's animals need to eat, right? So they're arguing over land and resources that they need to take care of the animal. Okay, so how are they going to solve this big problem? What should they do? Okay, they could just keep on fighting. One of them would win. But that's not what they chose to do. Abram didn't want any fighting, so he said they should spread out and they should separate from each other. All right, Abram let Lot choose the land he wanted first. So Abram told his nephew Lot, you choose the land you want, and I will go the opposite direction. So he said, Lot, if you go left, I will go right. And if you go right, I will go left. We're just going to separate. Okay, not because they were mad at each other, just because there was not enough room for both of them. So they're going to separate, and they're still going to be friends. They're still family. Okay, they're still loving each other. That way everybody would have enough food and water for their animals, and the fighting would stop. So Lot looked over the land, since he got the first choice. and he saw an area that looked like a beautiful garden with plenty of water. So Lot says, that one looks so nice, lots of green grass, lots of water going through it. I'm going to choose over there. He chose the one that looked the best. So it's kind of like choosing the present that was nicely wrapped, right? It looked very nice, so that's the one he chose. But wait, what was inside that nice looking present? Nothing, right? Nothing was in that present. So that present, at least, okay, we're going to find out more about Lot's choice, but the present was not a good choice. So keep remembering that, because we're going to find out more about Lot and Abram's choice. All right, Abram chose, this will be Abram, chose to stay in the land of Canaan. Now, originally, when God told Abram, not last week, but last time we were together, God told Abram to move to the land of Canaan. So he is choosing to stay in the land that God told him to live in. So he's choosing to listen to God. And Abram worshiped God. Abram trusted God. So Abram stayed there. Now, how did Lot decide where he was going to live? What made him choose that land? It looked very good, right? It looked good. He went because it looked all nice and green, but there was a problem. That land was right by a city called Sodom. And the Bible says that the people of Sodom were wicked and great sinners against God. Uh-oh. Do you think that turned out to be the best choice for Lot and his family to live there? No, it didn't. They were going next to a lot of people who were not good, and maybe they were going to get influenced to do bad things. I don't know. But that did not turn out to be a bad choice. Now, remember the gifts we opened earlier. Did the prettiest gift have the best thing in it? No. Just because something looks pretty and fun or whatever does not mean it's really a good thing. So let's keep going and find out what happened after Lot chose the best looking land. Lot moved his family near the city of Sodom, and while he was there, a big battle started. There were 4 kings who won the fight. So they went into the city, stole all kinds of things, and captured all the people, including Lot and his family. So now they're being captured by some bad kings. So this is terrible. Poor Lot, captured by the enemy, but guess what? Abram came to his rescue. You see, Abram and his nephew Lot, heard that his nephew Lot was captured. Abram had 318 servants who were trained to fight. So that night, not that night, it just says, so away they went at night. They attacked the 4 kings. They rescued Lot and all the people who were captured and brought them safely back. So Lot did make a bad choice, but luckily, Abram had some servants to go and help him out and rescue him. So Lot didn't take the time to make a good choice about where he was going, did he? He didn't think about it. He didn't pray about it. He didn't ask God, please help me, show me where to go, what I should do. Instead, he moved to the land near the wicked city of Sodom because it looked good. But then that led to big problems like being captured. Abram, though, he made a good choice. He believed that God is faithful and always keeps his promises. So he didn't need to try to get what seemed like the best land for himself. He believed that God was going to take care of him and give him all that he needed. That's just like us. We make choices every day, all the time. All day long you're making choices. Sometimes they're really big, important choices. Sometimes they're little choices. Okay? And whatever we have to choose, we have to trust God to help us. Because sometimes the things that look like the nicest or the best may not be so good. So we are going to play a game, and we're going to practice making some choices in this game. What I want you to do right now is stand up in whatever room you're in and go stand at one end or the other end of your room. Okay? And then decide like where a finish line would be. It's almost like a race, but we're not going to run. Okay? So stand at one end of your room and try to see if you can get to the other end of your room. Now, it's not just walking across the room, because you have to answer some questions and make some choices to see if you can get to the finish line. Okay, I'm going to read some choices, and if you answer it correctly, if you make a good choice, then you can take one step forward towards the finish line. Okay, if you do not make a really good choice, then you're going to take one step backward, not just standing still. You're going to take one backward step toward the starting line. Okay? All right, so if you need to, pause the video, get it ready. Okay, go stand where you need to stand. And I'm going to read you these choices as soon as my computer gets off of this screensaver thing again. Oh, there we go. Okay, are you ready? If you're not ready, pause it, get ready, play again. Okay. All right, so the first choice. What would be a good choice to have for a snack? Okay, here's the choices. Either an apple or 2 big candy bars. What would be a good snack choice? Okay, if you said an apple, that was probably a good healthy snack choice. Then I want you to take one step forward toward your finish line. All right, if you chose 2 candy bars, sorry, take a step backwards. That's not a very healthy choice. That's not a great choice for a snack. All right, the next one, which would be a good choice to wear on a cold day? Now make sure you're listening to all these choices, because they might be tricky. A cold day, a swimsuit or a sweater? Okay, on a cold day, I would think you'd want to wear a sweater would be a wise choice. So if you chose sweater, take a step forward. Okay, next choice. If your friends wanted to talk about a new kid at school and say mean things about him, which would be a better choice for you to do? Either remind them that God doesn't want us to be mean to others, or join in and laugh at the new kid. What would be a better choice? What do you think God and Jesus would want you to choose? I don't think he would want you to laugh and join in and be also making fun of the new kid. So I think the better choice would be to remind your other friends that God doesn't want us to be mean to others. So if you choose the first one, if you chose the first one, take a step forward. Okay, the next one. If your mom wants you to help her bring in the groceries, which would be the best choice? Either help mom happily or fuss and whine until your mom says, never mind, I'll do it myself. I hope that you made the choice to help mom happily when she needs your help. So take a step forward if that's what you chose. All right, the next one, we're up to number 5 here. If you're keeping track, if you've already done everything correctly, you should have taken 4 steps forward so far. All right, the next one, which would be a good choice? Either feed your hungry dog or go play video games. Assuming the dog's hungry. Okay, I think the best choice would be to feed your hungry dog, right? Because God made us in charge of all of these animals. If the pet is your responsibility or at your house, then you need to take care of him or her before you go and just play games for yourself. So if you chose feed your hungry dog, take another step forward. All right. The next choice. if you are at the store and see a video game with a super cool picture, but Dad says it's not a good game for you, what should you do? All right, either A, or this hand, buy the game anyway since it's your own money, or listen to Dad and let him help you find a different game. Buy it anyway with your own money, since it is your own money, or listen to Dad and let him help you find a better game. The wise choice, guys, should be, right? Listen to your dad, listen to your parent, and have them help you find a better game because they know what is best for you. All right, if you made that choice, take another step. Okay, we're just about halfway done, okay? So if you made your finish line, starting line a little bit short, then maybe turn around and start going the other way or something. Because we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more questions. All right, so here we go. The next one, if you really want to win the board game against your brother and sister, oh, not if, you really want to win the board game against your brother and sister, what would be the right choice? Just play it and have fun, or cheat so that you'll be sure to win? Okay, so we know that cheating is wrong, right? It's like lying. So we don't want to cheat at a game. So we should just play it for fun and not worry about if you happen to lose, then it's okay, right? Because it's more fun to play if you're not angry all the time that you lose. But it's fun to play a game. And also, like, if you cheat to win, it doesn't really feel like you won because you know that you cheated. You know you didn't earn it, right? I'm a big fan of playing some fun board games, and I want to play fair and square, and I don't like people that let me win. I want to win on my own. And that just happened to me the other day. Okay, so if you chose to play and just have fun, not to cheat, take a step forward. All right, the next one. Your friend invites you over to play, but you haven't finished your chores yet. Which would be the best choice? Either go to your friend's house now and finish your chores later, or do your chores first, then go to your friend's house. Now, I know it'd be really, really tempting to go to your friend's house first, but the wisest choice is to finish up your chores, try to hurry up and do them real fast, and then go to your friend's house. So if you chose the second one, take a step forward. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. 5 more questions or choices. All right, the warm chocolate chip cookies. Oh man, I love chocolate chip cookies. That's my favorite kind. And my neighbor this week just made us some chocolate chip cookies and brought it over to our house, and they are already gone, and they are amazing. Okay, anyway, that's a side thing. All right, the warm chocolate chip cookies look and smell so good sitting on the kitchen counter. What would be the best choice? Oh, this is a really hard choice for me. Okay, wait until after dinner for some cookies, or gobble down a bunch of cookies now. Guys, I have to tell you the truth. I'm pretty sure I would make the wrong choice on this one. But I'm pretty sure the right choice is to wait until after dinner to have a few cookies. If you chose that, take a step forward. I would be taking probably a step backwards right now because I love chocolate chip cookies and I'd have to have a taste. Okay. The next question, next choice. If you just arrived at the beach on a sunny day, which is the best choice? Wait for mom to put sunscreen on you, or run straight to the water and swim. I know, right? When you're so excited, get to the beach or get to the pool, whatever, you want to jump in that water. But it's a wiser choice to get some sunscreen on first. So if you chose sunscreen first, take a step forward. All right, 3 more questions. If your older brother is teasing you, what should you do? call him a mean name, or just walk away. So I hope that you know it's not nice, it's not good to call somebody a mean name, even if they are being mean to you first. So we should just walk away. Give them nobody else to argue with anymore. Okay? So if you chose walk away, that's a good choice. Take a step forward. If your mom calls you in for dinner while you're outside riding your bike with friends, what should you do? You should either come inside right away, or you could pretend you didn't hear her call. I think you should listen to your parents and you should come inside right away. And that's not me talking because I'm a mom, but that is what the Bible says too, is to honor and listen to your parents. God gave you your parents to take care of you, and they know what's best for you. So that's from the Bible too. Listen to mom, go right inside. If you chose that, take another step forward. I hope you're making all these good choices. This is the last one, the last choice of the game here. If you are feeling sick, what is the best choice? Hide in your room or tell your parents? This might be a little bit hard of a choice. I don't know. If I feel sick, I might want to just stay in my room all day and not do anything. But the better choice, right, is to tell your parents. Tell them that you're not feeling well. Tell them how you were feeling, and maybe they can help you feel better. Maybe they can give you some medicine or some kind of food or drink to make you feel better. Because your parents usually know how to make kids feel better. At least they try their best to, right, if you're feeling sick. All right, so that is it. That's the last question. I hope you made enough good choices to get to the end of your finish line that you made, or maybe you're playing against a brother or sister or friend that's at your house, and you can see who made more right choices or wrong choices. But I hope you were able to do that. Okay, we are going to finish up our lesson with our Justin and Jesse story. I have not forgotten about that. So in the last Justin and Jesse story, that was a while back, Jesse's aunt and uncle trusted God to show them where to move. They moved away just like Abram had to move away. They ended up moving to the same neighborhood with Jesse and Justin. And Jeremy, the aunt and uncle's kid, Jesse's cousin, trusted God to help him find new friends. And it looks like he and Justin will get along really well. So today's story, oh my goodness, I was just telling you guys about cookies, and this is called Chocolate Chip Choices. All right. Ding dong. Justin, see who's at the door, please, Justin's mom shouted. She was in the kitchen taking fresh, hot cookies out of the oven. It's Matt, he called back to his mom as he opened the door. Hi, Justin, said Matt. I guess I'm supposed to be over here today. My mom said so. Oh, okay, said Justin as he led the way to the kitchen. Well, hello there, Matt, Mom greeted him. Hi, Matt replied as he gazed at the cookies on the counter. Can I have one of those, please? Not right now. Maybe later, okay? I have to make sure I've got enough, Mom explained. Let's go play trucks in the sandbox, Matt suggested to Justin. All right, but I'm sure hungry for a cookie, Matt hinted, hoping Justin's mom would give him one. But she didn't even hear him. She was too busy counting all the cookies. 32, 33, 34. Oh, I'll call you in for lunch in a little bit, she said, as the boys went out the back door. Justin opened up the sandbox and stepped in. The two boys played with dump trucks until Mom called from the kitchen window. Come in for lunch, boys. Hey, maybe we can have cookies for lunch, said Matt as they went inside. While the boys ate their sandwiches, Justin's mom bustled around the kitchen, putting cookie dough on pans and sliding them in the oven. The whole countertop was piled with cookies. "How come you're making so many cookies, Mom?" asked Justin. He had never seen so many cookies before. "Oh, these are for the bake sale at church." Just then he heard Ellie's tiny voice calling from her room. "Mommy, up now." Mom set the timer on the oven, then went to get Ellie up from her nap. "Hey," Matt whispered, "now's our chance." "Huh?" said Justin. "What do you mean?" "Now we can grab some cookies while your mom is gone," Matt explained. "But she said they were for the bake sale," Justin argued. "Besides, we need to ask before we take a cookie." "She said we could have some later," Matt said, as he got up and tiptoed over to the counter. He reached toward a pile of chocolate chip cookies. Buzz! The oven timer made Matt jump. "Whoa, that scared me," he laughed. Justin didn't laugh. He stared hard at Matt as he finished eating his banana. Mom hurried into the kitchen to turn off the buzzer and grab the cookies out of the oven. "Phew, that's the last of them. Finally," she said. Justin put his dishes in the sink and headed out the back door. "Come on, Matt, let's go back outside," he said. He grabbed the ball and bounced it on the back sidewalk, waiting for Matt to come out. After a while, Matt came bounding out the back door shouting, "Hey, Justin, you can come and get some cookies now." "Really? Great!" Justin went inside expecting to see his mom with a plate of cookies for them. But his mom wasn't even in the kitchen. "Did my mom say we could have some cookies?" he asked Matt. Yeah, sure she did," said Matt as he grabbed a cookie and stuffed the whole thing in his mouth. Justin thought for a minute. Something didn't seem right. Maybe he should go find his mom and ask. On the other hand, Matt said she told him it was okay. Mom was really busy today and he didn't want to bother her. Besides, the cookies looked so good. And there were so many of them. She probably didn't need them all. Here, Matt held out a warm, gooey chocolate chip cookie to Justin. Justin took it and bit into it. The cookie practically melted in his mouth. The boys stood by the cookies, munching it one after another. "Justin!" They turned to see Mom standing in the doorway with a big frown on her face. "What do you think you are doing?" she asked in an angry voice. Suddenly, the cookie Justin was eating didn't taste so good anymore. "Matt said you told him we could have some cookies," he said. "I said no such thing. I told you these are for the bake sale. I have to have exactly 12 dozen cookies," she said. "Now I don't have enough, Justin. I want you to go to your room, and Matt, you go in the living room and stay there until I tell you. I have to count these again." Justin waited in his room for a long time. Finally, his dad walked in with a serious face. Justin felt awful. He told his dad what had happened. He didn't mean to disobey. Justin knew he should have asked Mom to make sure it was okay to have a cookie. But they looked so good, and if he had asked Mom, she might have said no. Instead, he chose to just take some. "And that was the wrong choice to make, wasn't it?" asked Dad. "Yes, sir," said Justin, "but they looked so good." "Well, first of all, I think you need to apologize to your mom," Dad said. "And since she has to take extra time to make another batch of cookies, you will need to help her by taking care of some extra chores around the house. Oh, and no more cookies either." "Okay," Justin replied. He didn't even want any more cookies. He felt sick to his stomach. Justin trudged downstairs. He walked past Matt, who was holding his stomach. He wasn't feeling too well either. Matt sat in the kitchen watching Ellie. That was his job, so Justin's mom could make more cookie dough. Justin went over to his mom and told her he was really sorry. She forgave him and gave him a hug. Then Justin grabbed the feather duster and started dusting the shelves in the living room. Mom didn't have time to dust and sweep today. She had to get more cookies baked in a hurry so she could get them to the bake sale on time. It took Justin a long time to finish dusting everything and sweeping the floor. Matt's mom came and picked him up before they got a chance to play trucks again. Later that evening, Justin's mom came home from the bake sale. She gave Justin a hug and said, "Thank you for your help with the chores. The house looks very nice." Then she took out a brown paper bag with something big and round in it. "I even brought you something from the bake sale," she said, and handed the bag to Justin. Justin opened the bag carefully. He reached into the bag and pulled out a giant chocolate chip cookie. Mom and Dad laughed as Justin made a face and said, "No, thank you. I think I've had enough cookies for one day." Okay, so the cookies looked and smelled so good. It was hard, just like I was telling you, it happened to me. It was so hard for Justin to decide what to do, but he chose to go ahead and eat some. And he didn't stop to think about what would be a better choice. Justin would have been better off if he would have obeyed his mom and stayed away from the cookies. That's kind of like what we learned from the Bible today. When Lot decided to choose the land because it looked so nice, he ended up living next to a wicked city and getting captured. But Abram chose to obey God and stay in the place God had led him. Just like Abram and Lot, we face decisions every day about what we will say and what we will do. We need to be careful about how we make those decisions. When we choose things just because they look good or seem more fun, we might get in trouble just like Lot did. So whenever you have a choice to make, think about what God would want you to do and ask God to help you make the right choice. So I hope that you learned something from that lesson today. I hope that you ask God to help you make wise choices and have a great